What up, people? It's 7 o'clock in the PM, Pacific Coast, or whatever you want to call it, PST, Pacific Standard Time. I am your man, Mellow Man Ace, in the place to be with the Havana Lounge podcast. And today, sitting next to me, my brother, my ace, the legendary ODM of a lighter shade of brown is here with me. Peace, young man. Thank you for coming through.
What's up, baby? I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Nah, man. I appreciate you for coming through, bro. First and foremost, you know what I mean? We've known each other a long time, yes?
Y'all. Hope they got time on this. Hope y'all got time, man.
Guys, tonight's show is sponsored by AV Chevy of Antelope Valley. If you need a Chevy, Corvette, Silverado, and all that, go see my people and tell them I sent you for a great deal. Shout out to them. ODM's goodie bag tonight is also sponsored by AV Chevy, so peace to them and my man Concrete. Yes, indeed. I usually do my sports stuff right here and my sports talk and start bubbling things up and getting ready for bringing on my guest. But when I have my brother in here like this, I've known this brother 30 good years. We're just going to get right into it.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Wow, that sports talk would have been a short conversation with me, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I know the Lakers out. I know, but the Rams coming back, so we looking forward to that.
Okay, so that's good enough sports talk too. You know, the Rams are coming back. We're still feeling the disappointment from last season, and we're looking to come back strong with Matthew Stafford at the helm, right?
Good arm, bro. Good arm. Waiting to see him activate.
True indeed. Dodger or Angel fan?
Angel, bro, by default. I mean,
Okay.
Growing up in Orange County, so that's where it kind of started. Yeah.
Angel fan, no doubt. My pops used to take us to the Angel games in the 1970s, and we used to see, this is when Reggie Jackson came over from the Yankees and all that. Maybe that was the 80s, but the 80s.
Rockaroo,
Rodney Cavalcade, all those guys.
Bricks. Yeah, man.
They had some dope legends on that team. I remember Donnie Moore as well.
Yeah.
Remember he domed himself?
Not that I recall, man.
Yeah, he domed himself after the playoff loss to the Red Sox.
Oh, I did hear about that. I did hear about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So way to go out, G. I mean, I even heard like Carew had some issues. I mean, a lot of them. I mean,
They're only human.
Yeah,
they're only human, bro.
And we all go through some things.
Everybody's got a little something they're dealing with. You know? Oh, let's get right into it, my brother. Riverside. Born and raised where?
Santana, Orange County.
OC.
Yes, sir.
And then your upbringing was there, or did you? Because I know you have a lot to do with the city of Riverside out there in the IE, yes? But when did you make that transition?
I moved to Riverside my sophomore year. I grew up in Orange County, as I mentioned, and started doing my thing there in middle school, playing baseball, typical kid on the streets, you know what I mean, staying out till the street lights come on, and then, playing baseball, football, basketball, you name it, got into hip hop at a young age, and, but baseball was my thing, and then my grandparents decided to move out because we lived with my grandparents at the time, and to move to Riverside. My uncle got married. Long story short, just it was a better way that my uncle saw fit. Like, hey man, let's move out. Mom and dad told my grandparents, bring Robert over here, because I started being a little nutbag, getting in trouble. So he was like, man, let's move Robert out the hood, so so to speak, to Riverside, to where Come to find out, everybody else started moving later on. Next few years, all my homies started moving, you know, from Orange County. So we kind of ended up in the same spot, but yeah, it's like 89.
So the same shenanigans?
I mean, pretty much. I learned. Well, I hooked up with my cousin, and they were more into a different scene, you know, at the time. It was just more of a party scene, you know what I mean? I was young, so again, I mean, I was into the breaking. This is like late 80s, so breaking was heavy.
Yeah. Was you a B-boy? Did you turn into a B-boy? Did you start?
Minor. I was a minor B-boy. You know, I tried the whole breakdancing thing, and, you know, I'll spin a little bit on my back here or there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I love the music, gravitated, you know, towards Fat Boys, and, I mean, the greats, man, Ice-T, of course, you know, Reckless, you know, that was my joint, Breaking 1, Breaking 2, so when it came to breakdance music, you know, those were the albums that I bumped, you know what I'm saying?
True indeed. So, everybody in the chat room, drop your questions in there for my man ODM while we got him here hostage in the Havana Lounge for a little while. I want to thank everybody for checking us out and hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Oh, so you say you started in that same lane, right? Kind of like I did with, you know, listening to those Fat Boy records, Houdini, I'm sure, right?
Right.
When did you realize, like, you had a dream to be like them?
You know, as a kid, Mellow, like, you know, like I know, bro, just growing up, it's like watching your favorite baseball player. You know, we were just talking baseball on TV. Like, man, if that's something that you do, you always have a dream, a passion, or a desire to be something, or maybe like them one day. Like everybody at one point wanted to be like Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like my thing was baseball. I always wanted to, you know, no, I couldn't pick a specific player, but I just loved the game. That was my favorite sport.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do that, such as, you know, rapping too, man. Like, I remember, you know, bumping the ODM cassette tapes, you know what I'm saying, from back in the day. And my neighbor, he had an old school Impala, and he would let me ride with him shotgun. And I would remember he had the box of cassette tapes, and, you know, those Impalas, you sit real low. So I was a little kid, so I would sit on top of those cassette boxes just so I can have a little booster chair, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And every time he needed the tape, I just hop off and go through, here you go, and then boom. But it was all the classics, bro, as we mentioned. And I had my favorite. I have a story that I always tell. When I would walk to school, it would be like a mile.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too far, but it would be a Lottie Dottie, man.
Ooh, really? Of course.
I would recite that like 2 or 3 times, and by the time I finished the third time,
at school?
I'd be at school.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I always took liking to it, bro. Like, I never thought I could ever do it professionally, and I got into it at 8th grade. And I mean, I don't want to tell it all, you know what I'm saying? But
was that the dream?
That became the dream.
That became the dream.
Yeah.
It transitioned from baseball into hip hop.
Into hip hop, taking it serious. And actually, when I moved to Riverside.
Yeah. Did you ever think, because you never saw any Mexican brothers on hip hop videos, that you could actually make it?
I never thought that.
No?
Because, see, like you, I don't know if you could probably relate to this, but when I grew up in the 80s, there was no thing as Chicano Rap. There was nothing. There wasn't a label because there were nobody doing it.
Yeah.
You were like the first one that I saw, like, that was dope, which we'll get to in a second. But in the 80s, I was like, I was just an MC. Like, my brothers, like, dude, like my black homies, like Greg, Rashawn, and Box, all 3 of them. You know, that's how it started. They were rapping in a circle at lunch break. And I jumped in. I said, they were my homies, just classmates. And I said, can I be down? Kind of like the, you know, Baker's Biz Marquee video. Can I be down? But they was like, man, you can't rap, man. This and that. Well, how do you know if I don't try it? We'll go home and write a rap, then come back. So I came back and I was in the crew. Like, it just, but I didn't think the whole Mexican movement.
Okay. Yeah. You saw the movie Crush Groove, I'm sure.
Classic.
Right?
Yeah.
And did you see Wild Style at this point?
I hadn't at that point.
Okay.
No.
Beat Street?
Beat Street, yeah.
So you knew there could be a bigger picture if you did it right.
If I really studied it, yeah.
Yeah. Same here. Those were golden years. You know what I mean? Sharpening our swords and coming out of a shell.
Didn't even know it. We were
Didn't even know it.
Right.
Didn't even know it. So how did you? Then you had Rashad and these other guys. How did you transition from them to hooking up with DTTX?
So when I moved from Orange County, I kind of put down the pen a little bit because baseball, I started getting better at that, and you know that was a hobby, rap.
Okay.
And when my mom said, "Hey, we're gonna move to Riverside," I was like, "Okay, come with the bucket, let's go." And you know, I had no choice. So when I got to Riverside, you know, people were like kind of filling me out. Who's this cat? You know what I'm saying? This outsider coming from, you know, Orange County and whatnot. And I was just like, I thought I was, you know, the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm from here. You know, what with the whoop? And there's where I realized, you know, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got humbled real quick. But not only just talking to some of the homies there, but also the rappers. They had rappers there just like they did at my school in Orange County. So that brought on the appeal to want to rap again and do it again. So I started doing it again. Yeah. And, you know, battling fools, you know, in school, and it just started all over again. And before you knew it, bro, that's all I was doing, was writing raps in class. And that's it. I wasn't even doing my schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? So I was on to something.
Guilty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, teacher was like, hey, man, take notes off the board. Nah, I was doing this and be like, Robert, come sit me at the class, you know, the whole thing. But I would kill it at the lunch benches, man, you know, at lunchtime. Yeah.
So how'd you meet DTTX?
Fast forwarding.
Yeah.
That's
a fact. Wait a minute. So it didn't happen there.
Nah.
Oh, see, I was just continuing with the.
No. Okay, so D-Double, I'm just stopping because I want you to, I don't know, if you want me to tell it, I'll tell it, bro. The whole thing. I don't want to interrupt you.
Are we going? Will we have to be moving ahead too much?
I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might want to take it in a different direction.
No. If it's not yet, then let's not bring it up yet.
Okay.
How about that?
So high school, boom. I was there for a couple of years, writing, rapping, right?
Yeah.
And I hadn't met Bobby yet until my junior year, which was, you know, a year later. And but I met this rapper named Big Lady K.
Yeah. You like wine?
And sure, I'll take some.
A little wine?
Yeah, man. Sure. What you got there, man? We're sipping on.
Oh, this is some 2017.
Ooh, okay.
Merlot, sent over to us by our good friend Betty Muro.
Okay.
Up at Monte de Oro Vineyard in Temecula. And that's what we're going to try out today, folks. So shout out to Betty.
Thank you, Betty. Appreciate that.
Salud.
Salud, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I don't normally get down with the wine. They're supposed to stir it, shake it up.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
open it up a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Good.
But, finishing on.
Yeah, so now you're going into your
junior year. Big Lady K, first rapper, come to find out. She was a female artist on Ruthless Records. Easy E signed her.
I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
She was all in the videos, all the NWA videos, and I knew who she was because I just bought her record from Warehouse down the street, like the weekend before, literally, bought her vinyl. And it was called Don't Get Me Started. And she got transferred from another school. And her and her brother, and I said, yo, I know who you are, man. You Big Lady K, man. I just bought your record with the whoop. And I was like, what's up, man? You know, how can I be down? You know, introduce me to your manager. Like, you know, I was hungry. I was like, man, I've been rapping here. You know, and she's like, oh, I want to hear you buzz. So I did the whole audition spill and everything. And she liked me, man. She was like, yo, you dope for a Mexican. Yeah. You know, I was like, all right, well, whatever that means. Like, I just want to get down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So she took me over to the payphone at school, right? High school, junior year, and she picked up the phone. She called her manager, which ended up becoming my manager later. Shout out to Cliff Ritchie. And I rapped for him over the phone. And he was like, yo, you sound pretty dope, man. He goes, I like to, you know, record a couple demos with you. So I was like, absolutely. I was hyped, you know what I'm saying? And like a couple weeks later, you know, he shot down with Jamie James, one of our producers. What up, James? And we recorded a little 4-track demo in my bedroom, bro.
Yeah.
Just like right there.
And you're still in high school?
I'm still in high school. So you can imagine the excitement that I had, you know, just recording a demo. Like I never touched the studio, you know,
Sure.
backyard parties, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually recording on this device called the 4-track, and I'm laying down vocals. I'm putting on headphones for my very first time, and I'm
Hearing your voice, hearing sound, that's weird, right? At
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I wasn't used to
I
that.
sound like that.
Yeah. But the playback was just dope. And I was like, all right, so then I would go to school, you know, and trip on this. So I would go to school, and already, as a kid, I can't keep my mouth shut because I'm so excited. I'm telling everybody there, hey, man, I'm about to get a record deal, man. And we're talking that talk.
Right.
Knowing my manager was shopping on my deal,
Yeah.
nothing was solidified yet. So after like a 6 months of woofing that, everybody was like, oh, man, you ain't getting no record deal, man. You keep talking this and that.
Yeah.
Finally, they told me, when I see you on MTV, man, then come holler at me.
Yeah.
So, then you can brag, whatever. I was like, all right, bet. So then they were shopping me as a
solo
artist, okay? And this was the time you were already out. And because I remember, I got to tell you this quick story. This girl, Amelia, she was in one of my classes, right? And she had told me one day, this was before I met Big Lady K. She said, yeah, I'm going to go see Mellow Man Ace, man. I said, oh, yeah, where at? She said, oh, this club was in Riverside. I couldn't remember what club it was. Maybe Riverside or something like that.
Sure.
And I was like, dope. Man, look, yeah, it's good to go out during the week. Man, it was during the week.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. So she comes back the next day, and she had I guess you had like a little keychain of your face. You said a keychain.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I go, whoa, I was bugging out. I was like, that's dope, man. You got a chance to meet. Yeah, man, took pictures with him and blah, 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 And honestly, bro, like, you were a real big reason, part of me, like you asked the question earlier, like, who do you want to be? Like, when I saw that made me feel proud to know not only the encounter with Big Lady K, but also you. And I'm like, dude, they're like us. They're like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they got their break. I'm just like, that's dope.
Awesome.
So that was my little Mellow Man Ace story right there. So then my manager, going back to shopping the deal, Kid Frost comes out with La Raza, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mentirosa, and Kid Frost was joining. And then we had to switch gears real quick because he was like, well, man, I kind of want you to be the first solo out there, quote unquote Chicano or Mexicano rapper.
Sure. Yeah.
On the West Coast. So I was like, all right, well, what are we doing now? Well, we're going to put somebody together with you.
Okay.
So at the time, I had DJ Fabe. Shout out to DJ Fabe Love, who's our third member, DJ producer at the time. It was him and I, and he knew a rapper from the other side of Riverside, Revered.
Okay.
And I was Bobby.
Okay.
So, you want to keep going or?
Keep it. Nah, you're doing great. I'm following.
So I get a chance to meet Bobby, and he's like, yeah, I know this rapper. He mimics all these other rappers, Heavy D, Ice D, and he knows them, by like the back of his hand. And then he says, all right, well, let's bring him to the studio. And again, this is my story, how I remember it. And we kind of, we met each other, and we just kind of like sniffing each other out, like pit bulls, like, what I'm saying, with egos. Like, every rapper got an ego. And so I was like, all right, well, let's hit this fool spit and blah, blah, blah. But long story short, bro, we just connected and we started writing raps. And it was funny because I heard another story that Cliff was talking about how I got tired of waiting to get signed.
Okay.
Like, it was like I was doing so much of this.
Yes.
Bragging, pumping my own shit up.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
You played yourself.
I played myself big time, bro. I was like, I was a kid, 16.
Of course, man. If you're in high school, that's definitely something to brag about.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but as you grow older in this game, you realize the least you say about a project that you're working on, it's the better chances it has of coming out. You learn that later, right?
That's life. Exactly 100. So I just kind of took a break. I decided I didn't want to go to the studio one weekend, and I ended up going back to Orange County with the homies and kicking it out there for a party. And
then you went to jail.
Nah, nothing like that.
Then you killed somebody. Caught a goddamn body.
Right?
That would have been the LSOB. Caught a body, Ace.
Yeah. Nah, but D, he had, my manager said, okay, well, I want to have Bobby come on and do this solo thing with just Fabian or something like that. And work it So
you're gonna move on without me, huh?
He was gonna move on without me. Max, like, you know, just show me a lesson, whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
But eventually we ended up reconnecting, and we ended up doing a 3-song demo, and that demo turned into a record deal.
What Sunday afternoon? One of those songs?
It was Spill the Wine.
Yeah, what's up, man? Spill some wine.
It was
Okay.
It was Spill the Wine. It was El Barrio, and it was TJ Nights.
Okay, I remember TJ Nights. That was the first single, wasn't it?
First single, first joint.
That's right.
So those 3 songs ended up getting us a record deal at Quality Records within, I want to say it's in about a year. Because we were riding the wave on you guys. You and Kid.
I remember I was doing a show out your way, and I think that's how we met. I think you guys might have opened, and then I came up after, I don't know, something like that. That's when I first met y'all. I want to say.
I think it was an outdoor event.
Outdoor event, yeah.
Like at a college or something.
Yes.
Dude, I remember that like it was yesterday because, like I was telling everybody, I would tell everybody all the time. I said, you know, we already had released TJ Nights and did our thing, shot our video, and we started touring off TJ Nights. But I want to say Latin Active, which was the next single, when that's when I met you. And bro, so many stories with you though. I don't even know where to begin, but I think that was my first interaction with you at that Cal State LA. I want to say it was the Power 106 event.
Oh,
Joe the Boomer said about
yes.
this, was backstage.
That was
it.
Powerhouse 1990.
Had to have been. It was y'all. You were with the Latin Alliance as a guest.
Okay.
With Frost and them, right? And then High Five was there, Boys to Men,
yeah.
us, and we were like the only Latins on the bill, right?
Yeah.
So I remember that. I just remember going in your tent, bro, and we were just cool, and you were just like the coolest cat ever, bro. Like,
thank you, bro.
You know, you've always been that way, G.
Me too,
and
man.
everywhere I go, I always say Mellow. He always took me under his wing, and always, you know, he was the first one to do that. No egos, no bullshit aside. He was just like, he's mellow, just like the name. So I want to give you props on your own joint. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother.
So thank you, G.
No, you're welcome.
I mean,
I had a ball myself when I was on the set of the Sunday afternoon video, which a lot of people don't know. But if you look in the corner in the beginning, there I am, lo and behold, eating sunflower seeds and sunflower shit like that, right? But now, hey, people, my guest is ODM, my brother, my good friend, and longtime buddy in the music game, legendary hip hop guy. Welcome everybody to the Havana Lounge podcast. If you're just joining us, ODM is here, and we're just explaining what it is and what it was. So let's get back to your journey. Let's get back to it.
So after, you know, doing the TJ Nights, Latin Actor was our second single, bro, and that just set us up for like, wow.
That record took off.
You remember hearing your first time you heard? First time you heard yourself on the radio.
I heard my first time I ever heard myself on the radio was an all Spanish song on a black radio station. It was the weirdest dynamic because it was a black radio station playing black music, and Greg Mack took a chance and played an all Spanish rap, and it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I remember that.
K-Day.
1580 K-Day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Original. Yeah. Wow. And you were like the first. I think there was like another Latin group or Puerto Rican group from the East Coast. I can't remember who they just kind of came and went.
I try to model myself after a cat named Mr. Schick of a group called The Mean Machine. And they had a record called Disco Dream on Sugar Hill Records. And it was an all English rap, but toward the end of the song, they let him go off in Spanish. And this was 1982, 83, in there. But I always said to myself, I want to be like that guy. So it was up to me to write the whole first Spanish rap record. See, he did a verse. I took it to a whole record thing, and then we would do that, the other thing. But little did I know I was inspiring, you know what I mean, y'all to do that as well. And
it was so dope. Out. Yeah, bro. Because when you came out, it was like, wow. Like, you know, because you dropped Rhyme Fighter first, right?
Mas Pingon was first in 87, Rhyme Fighter in 89.
And that was all English, right?
All English.
I saw the video the other day.
It's crazy. This stupid shit the label had.
I saw Right Fighter.
I rode a horse for the first time.
Hey, bro, hey, I was doing 12 hours on the trampoline and then you want to groove. What are you talking about? A lot of this shit is label presented, yo.
Yeah, man.
Like,
They, you know, they saw a Western thing. I wrote the song based off of a Jesse James book called, it was something or other, Gunslingers, West Coast Gunslingers, or something like that.
Okay.
Of the Old West. Mm-hmm. And so I took the book, I read it, and I did a parody of it, kind of, but in rap form, right?
Right.
And so they got me riding a horse with speakers on it, and slapping a Ford Mustang with a lasso, type of corny shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
My core fan base loves that video and the song.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's classic. Legendary.
So now, Latin Active drops.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that thing's taking off.
Yeah.
And so tell me about it. I mean, does that become the pivotal moment where you guys are like, holy shit, I think we got one here?
That was that was the record that set us off. TJ Nights, I would say, just kind of like busting down the doors a little bit, knocked on it a little bit.
I think we all have one of those. The ones that we just couldn't give away.
Right.
Or it wasn't so much that, just like you're on your way to bubbling.
Right.
And there has to be that first step.
Right.
Second step.
Right. It's funny you say that because a lot of cats don't know, maybe you do know this. Like when records, especially with the R&B artists, not to switch genres, but like, do you ever remember how like the label would always set up the dance record for the R&B, it'd be the up-tempo one before they hit them with the slow 90s slow jam, which they already knew was gonna. You had to give them one, like you said, to set it off, and I think TJ Nax was that one for us. And then when we came with Latin Active, and mind you, for the diehard Lighter Shade of Brown fans, we ended up re-recording that song. We ended up re-recording that song, Latin Active, also Sunday afternoons. We'll get to. There was an original song there, and we ended up throwing Shiro on there. Shiro was on the original Latin Active. Teardrop, you know what I'm saying?
You guys had the knack for finding the fly female singer joints. Go ahead.
I mean, thanks to our producers and managers, you know what I'm saying? But and it was just crazy how it all happened. It was just on the fly. Like, yo, one day we needed a vocalist. Hey, yo, James. Oh, me and my cousin Shiro. Let me call her up. She sings. She toured with Brandy and all that. Yeah. So I was like, all right, can you come down? Yeah, I can come down. Boom, she came down. Sure. And she just knocked it out. I think, not to move forward, but you were in the studio when we remixed Sunday afternoon. You were up, I forgot what studio it was, but you were there. We were chilling, I invited you down.
Might have been Echo Sound or
one of those.
Yeah, something like that.
I just remember she was like, already had knocked her vocals out on Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
But going back to Latin Active, not to move forward, Latin Active was the one that set up. We redid it. We changed some words because the record label again wanted to say, well, you can say this, but you can't say that, just for you know, purposes of offending anyone or whatnot. Not that we offended anybody, but you know, instead of like, because on the original one I said Mexicano Latino, you know, I said Mexicano, but I think I ended up changing it to just Latino. You know what I'm saying? And little words they were taking out, and we didn't understand that, right? Yeah. And then we got this rundown, because the East Coast, you know, they don't really recognize or identify, you know, with that, with you know, because they were still new, because Latin rap hadn't peaked yet. We were still riding this wave. We were on an uprise, so they were scared, is what it was. And I know you can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were probably scared to play you on the East Coast, at least for us. In fact, so much they didn't even touch our record, Latin Active, because it had the word Latin in it.
And most stations that were playing hip hop at the time were black radio stations.
And we're afraid to say, we don't know if it's gonna hit like that. You know, if it was called Let's Jam, it would have been a story.
Like at the time.
So
those times were very touch and go for us as artists and trying to break through and so when records like that would come through and actually make it through, you know, as a black Latino like myself, being both, you just cheer for it, man. Mm-hmm. You know, because we'd had records from Public Enemy and other groups that would, you know, hey, I'm proud to be black and all these
Well,
things.
that was
And
our
if
whole
that's
concept.
okay, then what's wrong with Latin active? You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that we would become as groundbreakers. You know, the ability to have our people be proud of themselves as well.
Yes.
And I think, in part, that's why a lot of people love what we did for the Latin culture. Yes. And so
We started breaking down the doors, indeed, and you hit it on the money with the De La Souls and the Black on Proud. And in fact, that's where our manager Cliff at the time had the vision of us becoming that. So we would rock the Mexican and medallions. Remember, they had the medallion, the De La Souls, all medallions, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was that whole thing. It was like, cool. Number one, I can't afford gold chains right now, so I'll rock this medallion for sure.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, then it was like Sunday afternoon hit and was like, all right, well, we want you to write something about, not the label, Cliff. Cliff had a vision, and here's something I got to put out, man. Our first album was directed by a black dude.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Amazing.
And he saw the vision. He was like, nah, man, I want to go after this crowd. And he told us, he basically told us what to write about.
Yeah.
I was battle rapping. I didn't know shit about concepts.
Right.
You know
Because if you're a battle rapper, chances are you don't write a good song.
yeah, it just
You
goes
can
on
battle
and on.
all day, but
300 bars or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, while you're taking a sip, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Angel Baby, shout out to you, OG. Derek
Angel.
Malloy, shout out to you, homeboy. Jason Gully, I believe, is from up north, Salinas, California. Shout out to you. Shout out to Danny Rivera, OG. Mr. Schick is in the house. My brother, thank you for tapping in. Tony Hurtado, everybody who's with us today. Kathleen Escalante, I believe it is. Shout out to you. Guys, if you have your questions ready, load them up for my man ODM. We will get to them, but I just want to hear his story, give you the scoop, and then we'll go there with it. All right, so stay with us. Interact with each other in the chat room. Keep it going. Give us that energy, and we're going to definitely fuck with you here in a second, all right? So that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you're at Latin Active or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Coming up to Sunday afternoon.
Right.
Now, Latin Active, what you're saying? California, Texas, and back. You know, Arizona.
All
You know what I'm saying?
Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest,
Southwest.
Vegas,
Torn those places.
Colorado.
Yes.
Killing them, right?
Yes. And back and forth, same promoters. Shout out to the old school promoters that used to book it. I'm sure you shared the same promoters back then, and it was just like a cycle. You know, we would be in San Jose one weekend, and then Phoenix the next, and then back to San Jose 3 weeks later, or Frisco. Like it was Bay to Arizona to Texas.
Yeah.
And it was just so dope because to this day, I have to say, like our biggest markets are still those markets. All of Cali, all Arizona. I mean, look at these analytics, you know, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boutique, man. And these were the audience that was receiving us. So Latin Active touched all those places. And then come to find out, the farther east we went, it was like, whoa, for real. Because, you know, for us to get accepted nationwide, bro, like that was your biggest goal was to get hit in New York.
Yeah.
Or get noticed in New York or Florida.
Yeah, of course.
And they always told us coming up, well, that's going to be your biggest goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So then when Chi-Town, Chicago started bumping us, and I found out there was a community there.
Yeah.
Bro, there's a little bit of McDonald's everywhere. We're sprinkled more so out this way, but you know, East Coast is more Puerto Rican, Cuban.
Absolutely.
But they got their little hoods over there, man, and we were accepted, bro, like right away. And Chicago was like big on the dance scene, as I know you know.
So is it fair and safe to say that a record like Sunday Afternoon popped open in Chicago and other places like that?
Yes, because number one, we were coming off of the spin of Will Smith, Summertime.
Yeah.
We were asked again to write a song. Hey, man, Will Smith took us to the park, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Show us how y'all do it on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Cool.
I gotta tell you, bro. I honestly feel this about you. You're one of the best, if not the best, of describing the Mexican party atmosphere. That, like your new single, and we'll get to that.
Right.
Your new single embodies that. Sunday Afternoon embodies that. Have you noticed that about you?
I was coached well. I've always been descriptive when it came to my lyrics. Like I said, in my battle raps before Lighter Shade, like I remember I had a song called I Sport Leather. I used to wear the leather jacket back then, so I rap about leather. And then but then I think Run DMC in the back took my okay, well, all right, then I put my own spin to it. So everything I talked about was a concept. So if I talked about a light or a chair, it would always be that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what hip hop is. You describe. No different than when you freestyle up against somebody in a battle. And here's where you determine who's an actual writer, freestyler, or a straight freestyle. You could talk somebody about, you know, cipher like from head to toe, talk about, and even clown their homeboy. But it was always sticking to the script what they're wearing. So when I learned from OG, taught me how to freestyle. He said, look, go in your room, and I want you to look at everything in your room, and I want you to find something in the room and rap about it. And I was like, okay. So at the time, I remember I had this wallpaper, like ugly ass dental office wallpaper that we moved to. It was just some shit like forest. And I would see little fucking animals in there and trees. And I would just start spitting like what I saw and whatnot. And so that's how I became a subject or a content writer. So when it came to describing being at the park, that was coached by somebody. Hey man, take me somewhere, visualize this. What are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing from sun up to sundown? And that's what we did. Okay, well, what do? Me and my family. I didn't know I was gonna hit all these people that were gonna relate to it. Like you did with the Spanish.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell my story like I know it. Like, what do we barbecue?
That's a great way to simplify it. Because I was wondering, like, if it was up to me to write that record, I couldn't have done it. But the way you broke it down simplistically right now, I can make one. I can do it.
It's all experience, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, also, how many lying girls you come across?
Right. Well, that was something that we all had. But one thing I didn't have was a big Cuban community, and we didn't have that go-to place where, you know, you can see the Lolos in the Cuban fashion or the 57 Chevys rolling up. We didn't gather like that.
Right.
So the first time I saw that was on your video.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? Other than hood gatherings in Southgate or if we went up to Huntington Park, right? But nobody actually had put that into words until you did.
Right. Well, commercially.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I mean.
That's dope. Yeah, bro. I mean, we're talking the days of like cruising Whittier. Bobby would cruise Whittier. I would cruise Magnolia, Riverside, Bristol, and Santa Ana. You know, and I would visualize what did I see, what kind of rides, and you know, you name all the Lolos, the Nissan trucks,
Yes,
the Suzuki Samurai,
yes,
like all, you know what I'm saying, the deep dish and just the anthem out there. But then I always visualize the park also, like what am I doing at the park? Like there's only so many things. What do I see? I see the homies chilling. You got your uncle, your Theo cooking up on the grill. You know, your little cousins are playing on the merry-go-rounds. You know what I'm saying? And got my ice chest. You know, Huda's gonna roll by sooner or later. You know, they gonna say, hey, well, what you got in the ice chest and the shit that people can relate to.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know.
I think we all have to get a little bit lucky, you know, at one point or another in order to make it. I think you have to have a combination of magic, a certain kind of magic.
Right.
Your personality has to shine over to the people, being at the right place at the right time. All these cliches, they may sound like cliches, but I think it's all a gumbo of success that comes together, and then the people gravitate to it, get it, and say, it looks good, it tastes good, it sounds good, it must be good.
Right. I think with Latin rap in the beginning, when you started it out, I think you helped that situation going back, because I think if you hadn't come out with Mentiroso or even or Kid Frost hadn't, it would have been a lot difficult for us. Not to say we would never got a deal,
right? But
so quickly.
Yeah.
You know, people
awesome.
say, like in me, in my mind, I'm dope. Like if you're not confident in yourself, you know what I mean, then you need to get off the mic. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
That's in anything. So I was dope. I was ready for the masses. But I will say, like, you know, there's some people that would say, talk this shit like, oh man, you know, y'all got on a gimmick because it's, you know, this whole Latin wave thing, and that's how y'all got signed. Because, you know, there's haters where there's congratulators, bro.
Wow.
But
I
I'm
never
thinking,
got
30 years later,
told me that shit. You know?
but we still here.
Yeah.
So what you saying? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it'd be different if I was, you know, cranking that and then I was gone the
Yeah.
next year. You know what I'm saying?
No, but the funny thing to me to hear something like that is, y'all didn't really speak a lot of Spanish on those songs.
We did it.
It's amazing how y'all did that, and the people still realize like this is our people. You know what I mean? Like you wasn't gorilla pounding it in your chest like I'm Latino, goddamn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we were still learning. We were still learning that about the movement, going back to what my manager was trying to create. Again, we're battle rappers. We listen to everybody we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of that going on. So on the side of that, it was like, you know, we'll give them a little here, we'll hit them a little there, a little slang here or there, and, you know, be done with it. But still, at the same token, still represent our people, which is to this day, you know what I'm saying?
It's job one.
If you go back to listening to the Brown and Proud album, bro, everything you hear there is still going on today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's facts. So.
I love a lot of your guys' stuff, man. But one of my favorite, if not the one, I don't think I've ever told you this, but Hey DJ, the way y'all put that together, the way you flipped it, is my favorite Lighter Shade of Brown song, period.
Oh,
You know what I
thank
mean?
you.
Like, I love Sunday Afternoons. I was in the video, love Latin Active, but something about Hey DJ just does it for me.
I think because you a B-boy, bro. You
I am
boy
very
hard.
B-boy
You are.
minded, it is.
Come on, you a
But
B-boy,
man, the way
bro.
y'all spit that and the way you were able to bring it back and make it popular again, it takes a certain type of MC, a certain type of rapper to be able to pull it off, and you did that.
That's interesting. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna take some questions
I was
now.
gonna tell you a little something about that record since
Please,
you mentioned it.
please.
So the way that record came about, again, it was like I got into making beats, producing at the time. That was the first record I ever produced. It was AVJ, right? So we decided after the second album, you know, by then I was learning the MPC 60, whatnot. After watching Jamie James and DJ Romeo and KT and them, shout out to our producers, Big Love.
That's right.
I was a watcher. And so I, you know, on my off tour, I would learn how to produce. Took these records, I was like, well, what was bumping when I was growing up in Orange County, you know, when I was a kid?
Yeah.
It was all those, bro. Hobo Scratch, Malcolm McLaren, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Do you like
Blow,
scratching?
right? Yes, bro. And I remember my uncle, he would take me to school in 5th grade in his bug, and he would just bump that every single day. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you know, Buffalo Gals and all that.
Yeah.
So there's where I remember, I said, I want to flip a song that hasn't really been done yet. I said it was either that one or it was, I forgot the name of the group, What People Do for Money.
Divine Sounds.
Or Defiance, which I still haven't heard anybody.
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe they had, maybe they haven't. But it came to that record. So I flipped it, bro. And then I was like, yo, I showed it to my manager and Bobby, everybody agreed, like, all right, let's flip it. Because that was different.
Yeah, no. I agree. I wholeheartedly. Did you have to clear the sample and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Did it get ugly or was it pretty
No,
easy transition?
It was probably easy transition. Yeah, we want this up front and then we want this off.
Okay.
You know, the road.
Now, did you deal with the group director or with the record company?
Publishing.
Okay.
You mean as far as
As far as the publishing.
well, the record label handled that with
Okay.
management team. Like
Yeah.
I just submitted the tracks and then
Sure.
they did their thing.
Okay.
It's probably why
No,
I
just
see most of
wondering,
my
'cause-
money later on. That's a different
Yeah. I was just wondering if C Divine, the Mastermind, and Just a Law, the Superstar were actually in the process because that was the actual Supreme team. You know.
Divine?
No,
Sounds?
just a lot of Superstar.
You said a lot of names right now. Say that again.
No, it's just it's two names actually. Well, it's the 5%ers. They were 5%ers.
Okay.
The world's famous Supreme team is built of 2 5%ers. Just a Law, the Superstar, and C Divine, the Mastermind.
I didn't know that. I just learned something right now.
Yeah, and that was the first group that I remember was dropping knowledge and science in rap records.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So all that stuff, a lot of the stuff that you hear is that they drop in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And then later on would come Gangstar with Guru and well, also Just Ice did a little bit of it.
Latoya, that was my shit, bro.
Latoya. Yeah, I was just listening to that the other day. But folks, The legend is with me, ODM, my boy,
Sir.
my brother, man from another. I want to take some questions. Lily, are you ready to do some questions before we come back and talk about his radio career and talk about ODM's new single? Let's get into some questions from the gente, from the people. Frank Palfi, shout out to you. I see you. Robert Jimenez, que pasa, mi negro, que hola. Cubans are in the house tapping in as well. And so it's looking pretty active. So if you have your question,
okay,
now is the time. Here we go.
Okay, we got someone, alguien, saludos de parte del grupo Los Copofagos Rap de Argentina.
Okay, shout out to Argentina, Los Ches over there.
Argentina.
Argentina y está en la casa. Also, you got love here from Michigan, Ill Eagle.
Kalamazoo,
Yep. So he says, what's
go
up?
blue.
And then we do have a question right here.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's see what it is.
Okay, somebody said, I want to read this one off them first. Great interview. Your music is timeless. DJ Boy Wonder, San Jose. Still rock the hits in my sets. That's what he said.
Bay Area, much love, man. We go up there every other weekend, like I said back in the day, bro.
Yep.
Paradise Beach, y'all remember that? Rhythm Night, San Francisco.
Together. Yeah.
Man.
Okay. Yo, ODM, whatever happened to street mentality? You remember back in the early 90s, San Bernardino Orange Show?
Yes.
What happened to that? And what is it?
I don't know what specific show they're talking about, but
Okay.
the group was a collective of Slow Pain, rest in peace,
Rest in peace.
Burn, and then Bandit, who was a group that came after us. We were label mates, management team,
Okay.
and we toured. The hip hop locals toured. They had their album out, Street Mentality. I forgot what it was actually called, but they made a couple records, and then I think Slow Pain went on his own.
Yeah.
So and Bandit continued to make records, and rest in peace, Burn. He actually passed away.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the homie, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Wow.
So then you have somebody said, Gabriel Amezquita, Uncle, you and Mellow should do a song that will be legendary.
That's little Gabriel. He was at the video shoot.
Is that right?
Recently,
Yeah.
Shout out to little Gabriel, man. He's a diehard bro for many, including you and I. And everybody else.
Yeah, I think we should get together again and do one. I remember when we did what was that Rappers Delight cover that we did? Remember that?
Classic, bro. If you ever don't know about the Rappers Delight, we call it Players Delight. And I had got Mellow in and Frost and Lighter Shade, and that's the only track you'll hear all three of us on, bro. Search that on YouTube when you get a chance.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens here, young man. All right. So keep it locked either to him or to me or to both of us. And we'll see what happens there.
There's also a Games Pain remix you came on that I was messing
Oh,
with
that's
too.
right.
That
Yeah.
might be floating around somewhere.
That's
right.
right.
Games Pain.
Yeah, that was dope, man. I was appreciative that you brought me on that one.
No, it was dope that you came down, Jig. I'll say that 100, man. And he's always been a good, cool cat, bro. Like, you've always come through. Like I said, man, I have nothing but good words to say about you.
Right back about you, bro. Lily.
Cool. Okay, so somebody wants to know some beef. We got 2 beef questions. I don't know if you guys want
You
to
got
go
some cheese
there.
with it?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to answer those questions.
Yo, if they want to know, we'll give them the realest answer possible.
I'm
That's what-
Okay.
I'm a professional. Go
Okay,
ahead.
all right. Just
That's not the
asking.
wine talking.
You want to go? Okay. So Derek Mallory is asking, what's the beef between LOSB and Cypress Hill?
LSOB.
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 That's a good question.
Like, sure.
Because a lot of people bring that up. And I've told the story many times. But what I have to say about that, and I'm sure you probably heard something one time or another, maybe you haven't been close to your brother and them.
Yeah.
But it was all over an intro. And here's how it went. At the time, Muggs was Muggs was hot. I mean, obviously the hottest producer at the time, right?
Yeah.
Cypress and whatnot, and that sound. Obviously, you had likes of Q jumping on the same wagon, and Muggs was doing tracks for everybody, and he even did a remix for us, right?
Yeah.
Spill the Rhyme. So we did a show once, and we were fans, bro. We were fans of you, fans of Frost, fans of Cypress.
Yeah.
We were the youngsters, you know what I'm saying? So we had seen a intro that Cypress that came out to be in it, right? They're coming on stage. I don't know if you remember that Santa Ana show that we did, the Orange County Bowl, at the Santa Ana Bowl.
Vaguely.
And it was a gang rapper. Then after the show was my 19th birthday, and we went back to Riverside for my birthday.
Okay.
And you came and
I'm
we was chilling.
I'm a rider like
Tell me, bro, he would call a fella. We having an after hours, bro. It was so tight. Well, anyway, on that bill, you know, with Cypress, you and us, and so they came out with this intro, and they were like, they had this thing where they did this check it out.
Yeah.
Check. It wasn't a
That's
song.
right, I remember.
It was
just the way they used to come on
check
stage.
it out, right? So I was like, we were like, dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I said, me and Bobby, we spoke. I was like, yo, that would be a dope concept. So we literally took the intro
And made a song.
and made a song out of it,
Which makes perfect sense.
which wasn't like, again, it was their intro. So we made a song out of their intro.
And they didn't have a song.
They didn't have a song. I don't know if they planned on it, but at that specific time, they didn't have a song.
Yeah.
So we went in the studio. We were working on the hip hop locals album second one. Long story short, we ended up doing the song, and the next thing you know, we're hearing it. Heroes dissing us on the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of his albums.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. So then we went back in the studio. We're like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, the confidence rapper that I am, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna let that happen. You know what I'm saying?
You don't back down. Yeah.
You do rap beef. So we went back in the studio and we did this record, and it never came out. And I think we were just about to release it, or we had it, and then the label pulled us back from doing it, or the management,
right?
And we never continued to be. But it was just kind of like, it went, you know, a few years, and later on, of course, we ended up, you know, squashing this shit. It was like later in time, and
Cooler heads prevailed.
that was it, bro. And
Yeah.
honestly, bro, like, I was kind of flattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I was caught in the middle. Can I tell my side of that?
yeah, I would love to hear it.
Um,
That's the first time I'm hearing this.
I was caught in the middle because Cypress Hill, everybody knows that's my brother, my little homie B Real, my other homie Muggs. And I'm like, I'm already taking a liking to Lighter Shade of Brown. I've taken them under my wing. Everywhere I go, I'm shouting them out. And it was like, we're building this whole Latino union thing. And it was a difficult time for me to you know, how do you walk that pendulum, right? And it was a difficult time because that being my crew and these guys being my friends now, it was a tough place to end up in. It was a rock and a hard place.
Right.
But I think I navigated through it well, and I never shunned you. I've never turned my back on y'all, and you know, and me and Cypress, I'm always like, you know, are always back and forth, and you never know when we're getting along or. And
So
shit
you
like
knew
that
about
anyway.
it. You knew
know what I
about
mean?
it.
So
It was mentioned to you.
I saw it.
You saw it.
I saw the whole thing happen.
You
know
saw
what I
the
mean?
vibe. You saw felt the
I
energy.
saw the whole thing, man. I had at that time I had kind of fallen out of love with the music industry.
Mhm.
So I'm back partying and chilling and hanging out with new friends and doing these things. I came home off a tour, a lot of money in my bags.
Right.
I'm watching this whole thing. I'm falling back, but I'm like, I gotta kind of just navigate around this. 'Cause I got love for them. I got love for y'all. And I think eventually, like you said, it just faded away.
Yeah, I don't remember where or how it happened. It just, you know, Cypress they just took off to another level, as you know. You know what I'm saying?
Cypress is.
We did our thing. We had our
Yeah,
hits.
but you guys too, on your own accord, don't undersell yourself.
Right, no, not at all. But
you know,
humbly speaking, though, is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
they did their thing, we did
Cypress
ours.
is- yeah, they're like the second coming of the Beastie Boys type of thing, you know. eventually that
And
will
thanks
happen.
to you for a lot of that.
Thank you.
You know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
'Cause
A lot of people
I know
don't know.
backstory to that.
People don't know I wrote some things there. Yeah, but it's all good though.
Let it be known. Cheers.
She's like, get back on
Don't
topic, don't drift on me. Okay,
we
okay.
go back now.
All right. Yeah, we start talking. We
Oh,
forget
no.
the cameras here. You know what I mean? All right.
About the Mustang? What you want to Mustang? On gold these?
So we have like 2 people.
Let's go,
actually
let's
that,
go.
Just said Veronica also saying, will you work on a song together? ODM and Mellow Man Ace that is. And also Kathleen said the same thing. Any chance you 2 getting together writing a dope rap song? Wow. Okay. So
Yeah, if 1 million of you buy it, so we can feed our kids and our
Cash out me
families.
one time.
Cash out me $1.
That shit was dope, bro. So I was like, hey, yo, is Mellow really like, I'm about to really cash out him some money right now. Like, that's my boy. Like, he out there.
Yeah.
Asking
That's
for a
right.
month like that. Then
Yeah.
a month later, like, that shit was
Yeah.
dope. He
As a matter of fact, it's get a microphone, start off for your donation at Cash App, $ Luciano Reyes.
Hey, there you
Let's
go.
go.
Luciano Reyes.
We'll do $2. Cash out me $2.
Cash
Don't
App.
download up.
Cash App it.
There you
But also remember to follow and like ODM and IG, LSOB 1990,
Yes.
Facebook.com,
Yes.
LSOB 1990 official, YouTube.com, LSOB 1990.
Yes.
Check it out. It's on the ticker and it's in the chat comment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's get to that second question and then we'll
Okay.
keep on moving.
The other question is, okay, there's another one that says, I want to get to it, sorry, my bad, because I'm on the comments.
No worries, no worries.
So this one is asking if, and it's from Ramon Valdez.
Okay.
He says, hey Mello, good show, and does ODM play golf?
First of all, thank you, man. Ramon taps in every week, and he's a personal friend of the families, and he taps in all the time.
What's up, Ramon?
So he wants to know if you play golf.
I don't, my G, but I'm up to learning again. I tried it years ago.
Yeah.
At the driving range, I couldn't even hit it. I was swinging it back in my mind.
So Ramon, no chance we're gonna get his money. Not in that way. We won't get his money that way. No. So.
Okay, so then we have another
His
one.
money.
A lot of people are here. Okay, so here's another one. It's a little sheet, but you see y'all ready for the hot seat? The chismoso hot seat. Okay, El Eagles on the chismoso hot seat.
Okay.
He says, what's the backstory on the Yo MTV Raps taking beef with Frost? Oh!
Me or you?
Whoa, he
Was that
knows
you?
some inside.
I don't know about that.
He knows, no, that's.
I don't remember me having that issue.
Nah, but damn.
And I don't remember y'all having that.
Oh, bro, okay.
Okay, you're a professional, sir.
Somebody
Who's
knows
that? Who's
something.
that? Who's that?
El Eagle, chismoso El
He
Eagle.
knows the inside,
Oh
bro.
Okay,
my
here we
God.
go, people. I'm all ears.
Like
I'm
I
all
said,
ears.
I'm professional, so I'm keeping it professional.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell the story because it was a dope story. Because Ice Cube happened to come out with death certificate. I think it was with the no Vaseline. That was death certificate, right?
For sure.
So you and we got invited one day, and it was what was D Barnes? It wasn't MTV. D Barnes had a show. Pump It Up, and they were doing a Latin special.
Yeah.
So I think I met you somewhere in LA, and I rode with you and Julio G.
Yeah.
And we rode to LA, and we went to that pool hall, that Hollywood
Athletic Club
in Hollywood, okay? So you invited me down. And on the way, the reason why I mentioned Ice Cube, because I was bumping, that he just dropped it that day.
Yeah.
Death certificate. Isn't that some shit?
Crazy
I
after
remember
that. Crazy.
And we're bumping no vest, and we're going, damn, man, I'm in the backseat. And I was chilling, Julio's driving, or I think you were driving. I don't know if we were in your Mustang or what.
Yeah.
We were going up, and we pulled up. Oh, he had bad.
I already saw it.
Big, all gold. He had the gold handles. He had it all gold trim. That shit was fire. So we pulled up to the athletic club.
Yeah.
And so we walk in, right? And I'm chilling. You know, I'm there as a guest. I think of you.
Yeah.
That's why you invited me down.
Yeah.
So I went, and we pulled up, and Frost was there playing pool or whatever. And I don't know, Booyah Tribe was there.
Yeah.
I think Booyah might have been there.
Booyah was there, a couple
With
members.
Frost, I think, hanging out. And long story short, he sees me, and I'm top, like, and your next question is probably gonna be, well, why is there you and Frost? But you didn't ask that question, so we won't get into that. I'm just gonna talk about that day. So we walked up, and Frost saw me, and immediately his face just lit up, like what's this fool doing here? You know what I'm saying? And looked at Mellow. Mellow was like, dude, you chill, like he's with me. You know what I'm saying? And I knew you and Frost been brothers for years.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe Mel's gonna handle this one and just kind of, you know, talk it out. You know, hey, he's with me. We're here to film. Well, long story short, bro, I think it escalated to the point where I think my man Frost ended up grabbing a pool stick, and y'all was gonna go at it, bro.
Yeah, he went at me.
And he
For
came
bringing
at you.
Yeah.
For bringing me.
Yeah.
And but I mean, as soon as it started, it was over. It was just like, you know, they pulled him back, pulled Mellow back. Mellow was still cool. I mean, he was just chilling. Frost was just
I believe Booyah Tribe jumped in and said, no, you're not just gonna swing on Mellow. That's what
There
happened.
you go.
Yeah.
See, that sounds familiar now. It stopped, and then more so, the taping stopped. So that taping never happened.
Never came out.
D came in. D William,
D Barnes.
D Barnes. If you remember, she was the one that allegedly got smacked by Dr. Dre.
And pushed down the flat stairs, yes.
So when she saw that, she was like, "This is not going to be another episode of that." And those were her specific words. So this thing's off, cameras off, we're not taping, and that was over.
The words got back to our record companies that Monday, and for me personally, my record company, Capitol Records, shut down the release of my next album because of that, and pushed me back about a year.
For real?
By a year. Yeah. So by the time it came out, it was so outdated that, you know,
Because of
nobody
that.
cared. Yeah. Yeah.
See that
Yeah.
shit? One. It takes one. Then we all get.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's so
It
we
takes
all
one.
lost out
It
there.
takes one. That's all
We
it took.
lost that. Yeah.
And even though it wasn't our fault, you know what I mean? I don't think, you know, we just out here trying to show camaraderie and whatnot.
So on that note, this question is really good because of many different reasons. Because it could be multi-layered and due to what happened at your MTV Raps, and maybe the point of
it was
view-
pump it up.
Pump it up.
Pump it up.
It was pump it up, and like what the point of view, you know, of like what was happening, especially with Latino Latinx rappers. Like, so with so much talent out there, Sylvia Luna is asking,
Okay.
why do you think it's so hard for Latino rapper artists to get radio play?
It's a great question.
Great question.
It's towards me, this question?
Both of you guys, any people.
Well, I have my ideas, and I'm sure ODM has his ideas because he's also an on-air personality.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that hit records are made by how much money is behind them. In other words, if I have $1 million budget, chances are I will have a hit. But if I have a shoestring budget, chances are I won't have a hit. So a lot of guys don't have $1 million budget or a rich uncle. When you see that that's the case, chances are your local artist is not going to blow up because they don't have the finances to go to radio to play the song.
Great answer. Great answer. From the radio perspective, being in radio for 20 years, I used to be that guy. I used to be the one complaining. I complained a lot. And I was like, why isn't Julio G playing my shit on Westside Radio? You know what I'm saying? This was after, you know, Hey
Global
DJ,
success,
Sunday
yeah.
After everything else, right? And we were like, okay, we were trying to come at him again. And I took it personal. This is the same guy that was driving me and Mello to the spot, like we're boys, right? And I took it personal because I didn't understand. Are there radio politics? Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to get deep into it, but it is what it is. There are politics. And I learned that when I got into radio, okay? But I also know that a lot of what he said is true. Like, it takes money to make money. You know what I'm saying? I don't, first off, I'm from the days to where when you gave somebody your record or your CD, you visually or you personally came in physically and gave it to them. Nowadays,
Yeah.
everything's sent by MP3. Send them a link, blah blah blah.
There's
To
no
me,
connection.
there's no connection. So you know what I'm saying? Like, remember, you would have to at least meet somebody. They take you to dinner. The label would, fork out the money. They would send the record rep and do all that. Get personal. Get to know somebody.
Yeah.
That could probably potentially help you get your record played. Supposedly. I'm saying I'm not giving off beans, but I'm giving off beans right now. But
If you want, I'll stop you right
yeah,
here.
stop me now.
Okay.
But no.
Next question.
No. But I will end it on this though. I will say this. It's not our job to make you a superstar. It's your job. Okay. By us playing your record once, us playing your record twice, it's not going to do anything for y'all. It's not going to do it. It's a high you're going to get. It's like you're smoking a joint that day. Oh, I felt good that day. But what's that really going to do? You know what I'm saying? Unless your shit's in rotation, that's a different story. But the streets will talk. I always will say that. Nothing's more powerful than the word of mouth. And I believe that to this day. So
Righteous. I hope that answers your question. I forget her name. I hope that answers your question.
And so for now, it's Bad Bunny,
Yeah.
J Balvin.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you Latinos on the radio. I mean,
yes.
Sylvia Luna asked that.
Thank you, Sylvia, for your question.
Yeah.
Guys, you're tuned in to the Havana Lounge podcast. I'm Mellow Man Ace. This is my man, ODM, LSOB representative since day first. You already know what it is. Oh, tell me about how you even got into radio.
well, I was producing in my condo, my little ass condo, and I was working with, artists you might have heard, Capone,
Yeah.
Shadow, all the underground greats. You know what I'm saying? And Little Rob, and so on and so forth. So I always had this passion for radio, right? I would go tour and be in different cities. And I got asked once, what cat were you when you were getting an interview? What was going through your mind? I was like, well, at that age, I was thinking about, you know what I'm saying, where the after party at. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
yes.
I'm young, so I would be on the request lines, answering the phone in between. Of course, I do my interview, but once they go to a song, I'd be on the request lines there. Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, what's up? Meet me here, meet me there, meet me there, whoop, whoop, and boom, boom, boom. But then if I wasn't doing that, I was watching the DJ do his thing. And to me, it was like working a spaceship. It was like he had control of the board. They played our song, which was 4 minutes, some change. They're on the air for 4 hours. And to me, to have that power to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, where you can't even see, but you can express yourself the way you want to and give your opinion in between records, I thought that was dope. So I was like, that's something that I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
That was as a little kid. Fast forwarding, years later, I got that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, it was by my local radio station where I'm at today. And Jesse Durant, he was my PD at the time. He said, come down. No, Ant Dog. One of the DJs said, come down, man. We're here on the corner at Papa John's Pizza, bro. Bring some posters, bring some CDs. This was like 99. And I was like, all right, bet. So I came down. He was like, here, man. Tossed me his flip phone. Shout out to everybody that flip phone, Motorola with a chip in it.
Yeah.
I was on it. I was like, hey, what's up, Jesse? Hey, man, I told you, I'm out of shit. I'm over here in the corner of Woo, Papa John University. Come through. I got some CDs. I got some things. So that minute, he came down and he was like, yo, hey, man, I heard you on the radio. You sounded like you were like really flowing very well on that, man. And he had interviewed me 5 years prior to that. Wow. So he was like, he asked me 5 years prior, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, I see myself doing a job.
Damn.
Fucking around, right? And here we
Man,
are 5 years later.
Yeah.
He offered me a job. He said, what are you doing these days? I said, man, I'm producing in my living room, bro. I'm doing all these tracks. You know what I mean? You know? And he was like, come
Ain't
through.
that something?
And it just fell in, bro, just like that. So
And so now you've been on the air how many years?
21 years.
You like it?
Not in love with it. I
Pays the rent?
I mean,
It pays the rent, people.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
that because you know what I'm saying. But I just think radio's different these days.
It really
especially
is,
in the
but you
digital
know, it is a different day and time. And if you can get over that part, like being an old school guy that was there in the heyday and the whole thing,
Right.
if you can get past that
Right.
and realize, hey man, it's a different day.
Absolutely. You just hit on the button.
You know?
See, back then, radio DJs were superstars
Yes.
because there was no internet.
Yeah.
So who did you rely on to give you the lowdown? Where's the hottest club at? The DJ on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna get on that guest list? It wasn't by DMing somebody. calling the radio station to get on the guest list. Hey man, right now take the next 10 callers. Boom, 21 and over. It's going down. Boom, boom, boom. You always relied on the DJ on the radio to give you the 411.
Yes.
From get you to point A to point B.
True.
Now it's like, no, there's the internet for that. I don't need to listen to y'all. So we have to battle against Pandora, Spotify, even our own iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
You know, and all these other platforms.
You have to keep your show interesting enough, right? Is that part of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a visual world, and they drive us to be more digital these days because that's where people at. They're on these things. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook, and they're just scrolling, and they might just happen to catch one of our posts on 991, my personal one, and it's just a lot. I will say this: I love putting smiles on people's faces to this day. That's what I do love, and there are a lot of listeners that listen to me for those 21 years.
Now, do you have a vision, like you want to be like the next so and so, or I want to eventually be like Huggy Bear, or this one, that one? Our friend, the legend, Art LeBeau.
Yeah. At one point, there was like a thought in my mind, but then I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna be at in 5 years. That same question popped in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna still be doing this.
So are you a goal planner?
No.
Or are you a day-to-day?
That's my biggest setback.
Yeah.
I wish that I had that. See, a lot of people I talk to, they're like, people that are planning, they can see the end before, right at the start. And they know you got to go through all this bullshit to get there.
Yeah.
But seeing that end, I don't know, bro.
I'm going to tell you what you appear to be from the outside looking in. You look like a serious motherfucking planner. The way you behave, your mannerism, the way you get down, the way you present when you're presenting. To me, I'm like, this guy must have had this goal like years back while we were still on tour. That's what it looks like.
You mean talking about radio?
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought for sure, okay, you plan on being the next Art LeBeau.
Nah. I mean, that would be a huge compliment. I can never replace the man, but I mean,
I'll tell you what, if you do, can I be your assistant?
Yeah, bro.
Right,
Come on, man.
You heard it here first.
So we still perform and be on radio.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be the sidekick. Hey, yo, Robert, we got caller number 14 on the line, man.
Caller 14 gets a bottle of Viagra.
Yeah, and fine. God damn it. That's awesome, man. So yeah, I'm one of those. Let's live for today. Let's win today,
Right.
And then wake up tomorrow and win again tomorrow.
Life's a hustle, man. I mean, you can have a goal all you want, but you don't know where life's gonna take you. This
Absolutely.
COVID bullshit. Your day, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit could end in a couple months. I lost so many homies last year, and I go, damn, and you know, and their kids, and I talk, and I'm like, that just makes me want to be closer to my family, and realize, you know, live it. Somebody told me that the other day, man. I'm always doing quotes. They said, because I'm vlogging. We have a YouTube channel, my family, and they're all, hey, bro, what are you doing? I'm gonna catch you in the moment. Bro, you gotta live the moment too, though. You gotta follow the camera. And I'm like, you're right. Facts, bro. Because I'm over here trying to make memories for later.
Yeah.
But
it's forgot about right now.
Forgot about right now.
Because right now is the only moment that really counts, people. You hear that, kids? Right now. Okay?
Facts.
Guys, we're right here with my man ODM. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock now. I haven't even, usually we're cutting out of here around this time. But we're going to let it run and let it do what it does. What's up, Lily?
We have, since we're going to keep going, we have a question from my sister, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Alma Ramirez. She says, ODM post-pandemic plans. Talk about planning.
Right.
What ODM post-pandemic plans and projects?
That's a great question. And I can tell you what I have been working on, and I'm sure everybody's plan as an artist, such as yourself, is to get back on the road, and concerts are now starting to open. I know we got a couple happening, but, you know, Lord's blessing us with more shows now. Thankfully, these concerts are opening back up. But thankfully, I was able to team up with an industry music group. Shout out to DJ Cazell, Ruben, everybody over there.
Yes.
And he had called me. I'd start working on music again because I hadn't worked on music forever in a day. You could tell by my track record. But I finally, the 2020 just kicked me in my ass and said, hey, bro, you got all this time, you're working from home. It's time to start writing your passion again. So that's what I was doing, working on music. So I hit up my boy, and he asked me, Cazell was like, hey, dude, what are you doing?
Shout out DJ Cazell.
Man, that's a real one right there, bro. And was like, well, come on through, man. I have an idea.
Cazell.
And
him and my son got the same.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm stepping all on you.
Right. Nah.
DJ Cazell, man, that's my guy, man.
Yeah.
He brought me in the studio. He showed me everything you
Yeah.
were doing. And it looks like we're going to do a little something, you know. Who knows, man?
Absolutely.
You know? Right?
And it's going to be there if it happens, I guarantee you. So he offered, he said, look, man, I'd love to work with you. This is what I'm doing. Industry music group, you know, they're a Soldies based. When I say Soldies, for those who aren't familiar, it's soul and oldies. Soldies movement is like comeback, you know, Trisha Toledo's, Mariah Avila's my label mate now. That whole sound is made a return. But
love it.
He saw me and he talked to me. He was like, bro, you did that Sunday afternoon sound. I need that. Let's make something work. And I needed a team.
Yeah.
Because you can't do this by yourself. So I said, bet, let's work. So long story short, we worked out a deal, bro, and now we dropped Summer Soldy, which is our new single, which we can get into, I don't know.
Yeah, right now.
You know what I'm saying?
People, let me tell you something. I was at the video shoot for the song, and once again, this guy has the uncanny ability to bring the summer alive lyrically and paint a picture, and he, once again, so he did it again, and it's not Sunday afternoon, so don't. It's a whole new thing.
You know what's funny is Gazelle, he mentioned, he was like, yo, bro, we'll do the Sunday after 2021, and we got on the horn and we started talking with Concrete, shout out to Concrete, and we were like, man, this idea of maybe going back to Whittier and filming it again, just to kind of revisit it and bring back the Nissan trucks, and well, it was like, well, why reinvent something that's already been done?
Right.
Especially by you guys. Why are you gonna redo what you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many people come to you in the past, but it kind of made sense. Like they wanted to redo Sunday Afternoon.
Oh, come on.
Like, hey man, let's do a remix Sunday Afternoon. You know? And I'm like, that's my own song. Like it's been done. Why are you gonna try to? So long story short, we just did it locally in the IE. We found a park. What was dope though, we did bring the Nissan trucks back. Mariah Avila did her thing. You know, me and wifey. I got the kids in the back, as I talk about the kids in the backseat, and it's just a family vibe. Now, this is a grown-up ODM because back then, I was just single living the life.
Yeah.
We still talked about it, but now this is my family in there. To me, that was a milestone.
I thought it was so dope the way you weren't ashamed to bring that to the table. You know how most guys, a lot of guys our age will try to still act young and wear the super tight, huggy shit on and not bring up the fact that, you know, I got wifey in the car and I got things, my shorties in the back, you know. I thought that was so dope. Like, you're so confident, you know what I mean? Like, you're confident about who you are, confident about being in your own skin and what it is now.
Right. Well, I think
pushing what?
I'll be 48.
48 years old, right? You're obviously not the same 25-year-old kid, and that's okay. Because this is what it is, more refined now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's like wine, baby. And I'm young at heart. You know what I'm saying? I always will be. And I love the kid. Like I've always said that one day I'm going to have one. But everything just kind of went later on for me. You know what I'm saying? I started late having kids. I got married at 41. I had my first kid at 42.
Sure.
I have a stepdaughter I love. She's 14. I gained that when I got married. So I have 3 kids now. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got Layla was 14. I got my son Elijah, who was 5, and I got a Maya, who's going to be 1 this month. And I got my wife, Vanessa, beautiful wife. So RBG fan, that's us. Go check us out on YouTube. But anyway, bro. So why hide? Like I feel like I get respected more because of I can't rap about that shit no more because that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like Eminem, he paints his story out in the album, and lets you know where he's at now. That's the greatest thing about him. That's why I love this shit. Me, people can relate that, okay, he's older now, he's got a wife. I can relate to that now. Boy, he's got his own kids in the backseat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know, it's still Modelo time. You know what I mean? And we make enchiladas and this and that, and we're still doing the carne asada, but it's 2021.
You heard it here, kids.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my man ODM. Tell me something. Why the beard?
This one right here?
When did you decide the beard was the look?
When I could finally grow one, bro.
It wasn't like the COVID thing. Like I was trying to grow a beard during COVID, and I kind of did, but it was patchy and blotchy and shit. You know, blotchy over here with the thing, and I was turning gray as hell.
Yeah.
I looked like a pissed off Muslim in prison. That's what I looked like. But your beard seems to be working for you. It's a great look, brother. I like it, man. You look young at heart,
Thank
right?
you, bro.
And,
Yeah.
and still mature and refined at the same time, bro. Are we good? We talked about what you're doing now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I got some more questions.
What's up, Lily?
No, we're good. I'm
Okay.
saying we're just waving it.
Yeah, bro.
Guys,
People are loving it. This is the really. Somebody just said one of the best I've heard in years.
Well,
That's
we got a
awesome.
lot of history.
that's awesome.
That's what
Thank
it
you.
is.
This
And-
show is better than anything I've heard or saw in years.
Wow.
Wow. Tony Hurtado said that.
Salute,
bro.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Great
that.
show, fellas.
And the beard thing, because you asked me the
Yeah.
question, why
Yeah.
it wasn't a pandemic. It was just my wife actually, you know, she was cool with it.
Yeah.
Because when we got married, I was grown when she cut it. I had to cut it, like, not cut it off, but like the
Edge
slim,
it
like the
down,
edge of
yeah.
shit down.
Yeah.
So I just started growing to see how far I can go.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I could hear talking shit, you know what I mean? They're coming
Yeah.
back, like I heard all the jokes, but I was like, yo, it's a process. It takes, like, you ever heard of the year?
No.
Instead of a beard, it takes a year to grow a full-on beard.
Mm.
So I was trying to get to my year. Okay? Trust me, I studied this shit. I studied all
The
the oils,
year.
all the maintenance, and everything that
I
goes
can
in
dig
it.
it. I can
So
dig
the
it.
way you know, all that, bro. So I was going through it, trying to shape it. But yeah, you're gonna get the comments because it's like when a fat person loses weight and he's skinny.
Yeah.
If that's your homeboy, bro. No, if that's not your homeboy, you don't know him, bro. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
look normal.
Yeah.
If it's your homie that's used to seeing you fat,
Clown.
bro, you
It's
need
clown.
to eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Bro, you're too sucked up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got that too back in the day. So I'm like, you're not gonna be able to please everybody. But hey, if you feel confident in it, which I do, I rocked it. But then all of a sudden, my wife knocked on my door again. I'm like, yo, can you just shave it to where it is right now?
Yeah.
Not
Because you
fully.
was doing the whole.
Bro, my shit. The picture on this flyer.
Yeah.
You took
You were
one of
doing the
old
whole
ones.
Dan Haggerty. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you was getting it in for real.
I'll try anything once.
That's dope, man. Oh man, it's been a pleasure having you. Is there anything you want to plug, bro? While I got you on the horn,
Ooh. Yes.
go ahead.
All right, musically, shout outs to Industry Music Group. Mariah Avila, we got a single, Lighter Shade of Brown. It's under that, it's not under ODM because a lot of my music previously, it's Lighter Shade of Brown. And I chose that because a lot of people were wondering, why are you coming out as Lighter Shade of Brown? And there's a story with everything I say, bro.
Man.
It's Bobby,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And long story short, I said, look, no, there's no Lighter Shade of Brown without DTTX. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to my boy. I feel like I come to mention myself that my boy would rather me see me moving on,
Yeah.
using him as I would him, as he's been doing when I went to radio.
Yeah.
The name has been established. It's
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
That's like asking Zach to stop touring without Roger Troutman.
Come on, man, preach.
Okay? We live for music, and music is timeless, as you mentioned. So why not create more of that in synergy? Maybe some friends, maybe Lighter Shade and Mellow Man Ace. Would you still buy it?
You're asking for it.
Because you're asking for it. So that's that. I'm not going to harp on that too much. So it's Lighter Shade of Brown featuring Mariah Avila. It's called Summer Soldy.
Love the
Catch him
fucking
on the video. He's in Sunday.
Love the fucking record.
He's in the new video.
Yeah.
And it drops probably in a couple weeks. So please hit us on all social media. Also, my YouTube fam. My wife and I, we have a YouTube channel called the RBG Fam. Family channel, as mentioned. Please give that a subscription too if you can. Like all the videos, go check it out. That's our daily lives. It's like your, Latino runs house. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are. Like I said,
I could dig it.
rapper turned vlogger with the family.
Yeah.
Check that out. And listen to me mornings, man. In Inland Empire, 991 KGGI, 6 to 10, ODM and Evelyn.
And you'll be in Oak Cliff, Texas. Yes. October 24th.
No.
Why not?
Is that on the bill I didn't know about?
You the one that brought me in.
Oak Cliff?
Yeah. It's Dallas, but it's on the outskirts.
Oh,
It's actually called Oak Cliff. Come on, man. You got to be specific because nowadays these people don't know how to find
You're right. So that part. This month though, I'm in Apple Valley, July 17th. It's at Gators. It's here local. And then I just got booked the next day on the 18th, July 18th at it's in Fullerton. Shout out to Curious Entertainment for Peterman Sunday. We gotta get you on that, bro.
Absolutely. Check me out at I'll be at Lido Creek, July 17th. With my man Angel Baby and his whole team. I believe Kid Frost is on that bill.
That's right.
And a lot of oldie groups as well. And then the 18th, the following day, I'll be in Sacramento playing the Taco Fest up there.
Ooh.
And then
Bro, I see him
just
on
got a
that.
call from
Come on, man. We're supposed to be looking out for each other. We booked each other's shows.
No, it was a thing about before COVID. And then it got canceled. You know how we do it.
We look out for each other, bro.
Yeah.
They want another act, I always pitch Mellow, vice versa. That's some behind the scenes shit. But
That's just
that's
love
just
right
some
there.
homie love right there, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Guys, you've been tuned into the Havana Lounge podcast. I want to thank Lily for being our statistician. Lily! The lovely Alma Ramirez is here with us as well. And my man JoJo is in the back. Thank you for bringing the fan through. We got the brothers in the house. Adam Baum is in the piece. And my man Exposure is in the motherfucker for real. I'm your boy Mellow Man Ace. That has been ODM of LSOB.
Yeah.
Give it a shout out. Guys, tune into the show next week when my guest will be ex-NFL star Corey Minor will be in the house. Until then, people, like I like to leave you in the words of the great Curtis Mayfield. Remember that your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing and move on up. All right? Till next Thursday. Peace.